Brookwood is identifying the gifts, the unique gifts of every person here.
When people choose to come here to the Brookwood Cafe, they get to see all that hidden talent.
It's full of compassionate people.
I have 250 wonderful and blessed friends.
I love my people here, what I work with, and what I do.
I like this place because I have 4 jobs.
Always makes me want to cry. All right, Brookwood Community is a place where people with neurological issues can work, live, and worship. The focus isn't on what their citizens can't do, it's on the incredible things they can do. And on the 485-acre community in Brookshire, they do a lot. They create handcrafted gifts that inspire the world, from ceramics and jewelry to stone cast and spa products. They grow nearly 50,000 poinsettias in their year-round nursery, and they even run a cafe with delicious meals perfect for a holiday outing with the family. Their 12,000 square foot gift and garden center is the perfect place to shop with purpose this season and to celebrate a community where every citizen is valued, respected, and given genuine purpose. Joining us with great gift ideas, holiday decor, and the story behind this extraordinary community are Greg Hubert and Ashton Hooper, and 2 Brookwood citizens, Travis Berger and Stephen Wu. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Oh gosh. All right. There are a lot of people who know this story. A lot of people know pieces of the story, but go ahead and wrap it up for us.
I'd be glad to. So our founder, Yvonne Strait, she has 3 daughters. She has Vita, Vivian, and Vicky. And Vicky contracted the mumps when she was 1 year old. And then that led to encephalitis and meningitis. And she had 27 grand mal seizures in one day.
Wow.
So she had traumatic brain injury at that point. And then with that diagnosis, basically she went to the doctors and they went to her and said, you're going to have to put her away.
Yeah.
You're going to put her in an
Which is
institution.
what we used to do at one time. It's
That's
like,
right.
okay, let's just out of sight, out of mind.
That's right.
As opposed to saying, how do we get the best for this person in their life?
That's right.
And she worked with Vicki for years on just how to do one motion.
That's
and that
right.
was so that she could feed herself. She thought if she can just feed herself. And what did that one motion produce?
It produced in 1985 the beautiful Brookwood Community in Brookshire, Texas. Mm-hmm. So it's amazing because if you know Mrs. Strait, and she is a determined woman, and that is produced over this last 40 years, the beautiful community of Brookwood with over 250 citizens that both live in residence and work every day, and they have this purpose. It's a God-centered community that are a reflection of God's design in each and every citizen.
Oh, wow. And that same motion also helped her to plant thousands of flats of poinsettias that were then sold to help support Brookwood's mission. All right. Parents kept coming to her saying, gosh, you've done this with your daughter. Can you help us? And that's kind of how Brookshire was, how it's formed,
right.
and of course Briarwood as well. But they're like, can you help us? Because there weren't a lot of options for parents to go to who had children who were struggling. And there's still not a lot today, which is why it's so important to support this program. But you know that firsthand.
I do. So it was back actually in 1995 that my first son was diagnosed with autism. When he went to the pediatric neurologist, they said, your son is mentally retarded and you should actually put him in an institution. So we have my first son, Zachary, my second son, Tyler, and my third son, Tate, all diagnosed with autism. And 25 years ago, someone called us and said, have you heard of the Brookwood Community? And we actually said no, and they said, you need to get out there. My wife and I, Gina, got on a plane, we flew to Brookshire, and we met Mrs. Strait and Vivian 26 years ago.
Yeah. And little did you know that you would become, because Vivian stepped
amazing,
aside and she
he?
said, okay, I've done this long enough, right? But you could not be a more perfect person. All right. One of the wonderful things there's several wonderful things about Brookwood, but you're self-sufficient. And that's when citizens have these jobs and produce these beautiful things to sell to the rest of us, it makes them self-sufficient. So that gift shop we talked about, I remember the first time someone said to me, let's go to their gift. I'm like, well, what kind of gifts are we going to see? We see some crafts, right? This is beyond crafts, right?
Yes. We have a 12,000 square foot store and a cafe and a horticulture garden. Our garden center has poinsettias right now. If you have not been out to Brookwood, now is the best time to come and visit. We have gifts for everyone.
And I'm going to back up to your poinsettias.
Yes.
I went out there one year and I didn't know there were so many colors of poinsettias. I mean, there's like every color you could think of just
and
about.
We pride ourselves in that. Everything you can think of, we have it, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. And the person who is the head of the horticultural department is somebody who's known nationally, or if not
Oh, yes.
internationally.
Robert Grove is a
So, okay,
celebrity.
look, so there I was. I was like, look at this, people. They've got every color of poinsettia you could ever imagine right there. And again, year-round, you can go buy your plants there at the nursery. But this time of year, we're known for your poinsettias here. All right, let me talk to a couple of your citizens before we get some of the stuff here. Hi, Travis.
Hello, how are you?
I am good. Like we were talking earlier in the green room. So Austin at Brookwood Community is my number one boyfriend, but since he's not here today, you are now my number one boyfriend. All right?
Thank you.
Okay. Tell me what it's like to be able to be at Brookwood and to do your job. And what is your job?
My job is to work at the poinsettia production group and do stone casting.
Yeah.
I do a lot of stone casting and poinsettias.
Okay, whenever I get my poinsettias, sometimes I have one that actually has lasted for a few years, but I have some that last for a few minutes. What's your best advice on how I should treat my poinsettia?
Do what you got to do with a poinsettia. I don't know.
Do what you got to do.
What you got to do. I don't know.
What was it like to get your first paycheck?
It was shocking. It was amazing. Really good money. Really good check.
All right, Stephen, what do you like about Brookwood?
Doing soap.
So you make some of the soaps and things?
Yes.
Yeah. And so what did you do with your first paycheck?
Saving it.
Saving it. Okay, like all the Brookwood citizens, it's funny, like all of them usually, I save it, of course. I save it, right? And what is it you like? You like to do the soap, and what about the friends that you've made?
Pretty good friends.
Yeah. All right, and then we heard there also about the cafe as well, which has great food. And you have a system there for your servers that is so cool. And explain how that system works in the cafe so that the servers can make sure they get the food to the right tables. Because they are your servers, right?
Yes. So they actually get drink orders. There's a card that they work from, and they ask each person, starting with the person sitting in the chair with the white ribbon. And so there's a white ribbon, that's where they get started, and they mark on their card which item they want, and they know which table to go to because we have icons on the table.
Yeah.
A lot of restaurants have numbers or some kind of other system. We have icons, so they're basically ornaments with in our poinsettia right now that's in the middle of the table, and that's how they know where to go.
I love it. In the kitchen, you hear them calling out, okay, brown reindeer is up, brown reindeer.
That's it.
Blue puppy, who has blue puppy?
And everyone knows where to go, and we've actually had people from restaurants come and say, we should do that too.
Absolutely. All right, let's go through some of the things that we have. We talked about, you have the soaps, we have the ceramics, and these ceramics are known around the world.
Oh yes, our vision is to change the way the world thinks about adults with disabilities, and these items do just that. We have stone casting items, so this was poured and painted by a citizen. I don't know about you, I could never paint some of these items. The details, it is so beautiful, and they work so hard, and they are so proud of it. They even sign some of the products so that you know who made it.
Yeah,
and you can tell the story.
The detail and the pride that they have in it. I remember being there one day, and we were looking for one of the citizens because I was going to interview them. And Vivian said, well, where is she? They said, oh, she called in, said that she wasn't feeling well. So we went to her room, and she wasn't there. We thought, well, where is she? And I thought, maybe she went to the clinic, right? Because there's a clinic on there. Right. So they went to the clinic, and they go, no, she's not here. And then we went back to the workroom. She's there just painting away. And she goes, well, I thought you weren't feeling well. And she said, I know, but I thought if I miss work, what will the people buy?
That's right.
Like if every employee was like that,
Yes.
right? Lessons
Yes.
that we all learn. We actually learn so much more for our citizens than I think that we're teaching, right?
That's right.
All right, and then going on through. So we have the beautiful ceramics.
So we have food products, we have private labels. So all of these food products have been labeled by the citizens. And our best seller during the holidays and really year round is our Mezebov dressing. We also have candles and spa products. Like I said at the beginning, if you are looking for a Christmas gift, Brookwood has it.
Yeah, and there's so many things. Like there's things that the citizens are responsible for directly, but you also have the hat shop is in there, the cowboy hats, and you have just clothing, jewelry, all kinds of things there for every single member of your family. And the Christmas decorations are stellar. It's amazing. Yes. All right, you have a Christmas open house.
Yes, so open house is this weekend, this Friday and Saturday. So if you can, come out and visit us. Again, it's a magical time at Brookwood, and the citizens do a play twice a day, Friday and Saturday. So come and see that. Come and see everything that Brookwood has to offer. Like you said, it's a 485 square mile
Acres.
acre, not mile.
Yeah. It's his own town.
185 acres to see beautiful things going on.
And I promise if you go there, you will leave a changed person. And I love that play. My son was a volunteer snowdropper, so they were up in the rafters. And so during the snow event, they were supposed to sprinkle some snow. And I get a phone call. I'm sitting in the audience. My mom goes, his friend goes, Cooper wants it to be a blizzard. I say we do snow flurries. And I'm like, okay, what are you doing up there texting me? And then all of a sudden they accidentally kicked it and all the snow fell at one time. And I'm like, and the citizen looked up and goes, that's right. Get it right, boys. Yes. Okay, so there's a Christmas open house, and then throughout the year, a lot of companies will come out and get a tour and just see how you work, right?
That's right. Yeah, we have corporate volunteers that come in consistently year-round to help support us, and we really try to keep that ratio of our actual paid staff to volunteers, and so the community has completely embraced Brookwood altogether.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you why too. It's like a lot of companies that come out actually adopt some of your principles on how to work in the office. You know, so many times if we look at who our employees are and you say, where are their strengths at?
Right.
Let's focus on their strengths instead of focusing on something that they might not be able to do. Right. And so a lot of companies have told me they literally, like I said, when you go out there, you will leave changed. You also have Breakfast with Santa.
Yes, Breakfast with Santa coming up in the next couple of weeks. So come and bring your family. The 13th and the 20th, we'll have Santa, we'll have poinsettias, the store will be open, the cafe will be open. So it's a good time.
Yeah. All right. Yes.
I like to thank the people that buy our products, like all the historians. Like I have a lot of friends that buy my products. Yeah. So I like to thank them. You know.
Yeah. Well, absolutely.
A lot of people in Hartstone, where my dad lives, people come out and they go to get poinsettias or beautiful stuff we make. So.
And you are so welcome because you give us great things that we would, we could buy it like anywhere, but when we buy it here, what we get in return is, like I said earlier, is something priceless. Wow. All right. And Stephen, what do you want to say to people to get them to come out and shop?
Come buy the soap.
Come buy the soap. So we got the poinsettia guy here. He's like, yeah, you get your poinsettias. He's like, yeah, you got the soap. He goes, how about we get soap and poinsettias? How about that? Yeah, right? Okay, you can visit Brookwood Community in Brookshire all year long, but don't miss the special events for the holidays. For more information on Brookwood's story, their store, restaurant, and nursery, log on to brookwoodcommunity.org. There's actually a documentary that was done on you all. And so if people could access that or watch that, it's absolutely a beautiful story.
It is. It's right on our main page on the website.
Just make sure that you have a box of Kleenex close by.